to have you perk. Max, I try to tell myself 35 is the new 25 to make myself feel better, but let's be honest. LeBron is in his 17th season, still playing at an MVP level. You just heard Anthony Davis. Has his argument finally convinced you that the King really deserves the MVP this season?
AD made no argument. There was no argument there. He's old and he's still in the MVP conversation, so let's give him the MVP? No. Look, the MVP should not be awarded in a league where more than 50%, over 50% of the teams make the playoffs, and the best team almost always wins because it's not a one and done. It's a sport where you can run your best plays through your best players in high leverage moments, right? And call that person's number. It's not like baseball where you have to wait for the guy to come up in the lineup again, or football where there's so many guys on the field. In a sport like the NBA where that's the case and you have a best of 7 series throughout the playoffs, best team wins and more than 50% of the teams make the playoffs. We should always wait until the end of the playoffs to award MVP. However, that's not what we're talking about. Like if you want to argue, well, in the end, LeBron's going to win the championship, we don't know that. But let's say that winds up happening. Come to me then and say, who was really the MVP? Well, when it mattered most, LeBron. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the regular season. So let's talk about the regular season. The Greek Freak's team has a better record. The Greek Freak has better numbers, a way higher player efficiency rating, and he's a better defensive player. And by the way, the reason I use PER, it's an imperfect stat, but instead of me hearing from people, well, here are the points, here are the rebounds, here's the assists, etc., PER takes that all into consideration. So it's a pretty good, quick little sketch of a player offensively. The Greek Freak is trouncing LeBron in PER. He is a better defensive player. His team has a better record. So he is more valuable to his team. He's a more valuable player. Regular season. You start from nothing, you have the Freak. You'll get closer to being good than with just LeBron at this moment. Now, here's the final argument. Show me a team in the history of the NBA, of the modern NBA, with 2 top 5 players that wasn't one of the best teams in the conference. If you have 2 top 5 players, you're supposed to be the best team in your conference. That's what LeBron has in LA. It's him and Anthony Davis. LeBron's not having a better season than AD, by the way. They're neck and neck. Yes, if I had to choose who I'd take this year, I'd take LeBron by this much. AD's a great season. So LeBron, oh my God, it's amazing what he's doing. Yeah, any one of the top MVP candidates, put him with AD, their team's going to be great. But what about his age? This is not a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's not like LeBron's never won an MVP and we feel sorry for him. Oh, let's give him an MVP before he retires. But he'll be better in the playoffs. The playoffs haven't occurred yet. And furthermore, I keep being told, well, this is just a regular season award. The Freak is the MVP of the regular season, period.
Kendrick, you Max, go. You the basketball guy. I'll relent to KP.
Max, listen. Okay, first of all, you got to have an open mind, right? Anthony Davis, hear this out. Anthony Davis leads the Lakers in all categories except assists when you talk about stats, right? So he could have went in that interview and made a case for himself to be the MVP. But he did for LeBron James. You know why? Because he sees the value. He knows the value of playing with LeBron James. He sees it every night. When he's getting wide open looks, he's like, man, I've never been this wide open in my life. When he's able to post up and LeBron is putting him in great situations where he's able to play one-on-one. AD has had, in the past, he's had to carry the load offensively and defensively when he was with the Pelicans. He faced double teams. He had to really go into his bag to score. Right now, it's easy for him. That's why he's able to exert so much energy on the defensive end, because he don't have to do so much on the offensive end because of the brilliance of LeBron James. Now, here it is, Max. All that what AD said, the only thing you took from it was that he said, because LeBron is at 35 years old, he should be in the running because he's doing it for. No, you didn't even take into account that AD could have made a case for himself being the MVP candidate with leading in all stacks except assists, but he didn't because he knows the value of LeBron James and he's winning them every night and he sees how much easier the game is. Now, this is 2 players. Now, one is on LeBron James' team, but another one in Dame Lillard that has also co-signed and said that LeBron James should be the MVP, and you still fighting it. You going to these Wilt Chamberlain numbers that Giannis is putting up in the PER. Who is PER? What's his name? Who came up with it? I don't want to hear nothing about no PR. The eye test.
You want to hear about points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals?
The eye test shows me that LeBron James is the most valuable to his team. And I told you this yesterday. Giannis is the MDP. I'm going to repeat. The MDP, the most dominant player. But he's not the most valuable player. Go ahead, Spears. Go ahead.
Well, to that point, KP and Max, I understand your argument. I understand your argument tremendously, Max, on Giannis. And really, you could just say we will dissolve the argument at the fact that he's leading in these categories and he's doing what he's doing. But I don't want to dissolve the argument there. The problem that I have with the MVP voting is this, Max. I'm gonna take you all the way back to the NBA Finals between LeBron and the Golden State Warriors. Everybody in the world knows that LeBron was the most valuable player in that series, even in a losing effort. So that watered down the MVP trophy or how they pick or determine that